I see it in that scripture there in Matthew 12:32 that Israel will not be forgiven in that world in which he was speaking there, in Israel's at-hand kingdom, when they could have received the kingdom but didn't, or in the next world that was to come. Well, if Jesus didn't know, then he would be talking about the tribulation that was coming up next. And Israel would have been forgiven in the tribulation. Christ would have been lying that when he said Israel would not be forgiven in that world or in the next world. But if he did know that the age of grace was coming, then that was true, that Israel would not be forgiven in that at-hand kingdom when the kingdom was at hand before Peter actually offered it in Acts, or in the age to come, which came when Israel fell in Acts 7, and the age of grace began. Israel will not be forgiven in this age, the dispensation of the grace of God. So they'll be forgiven later on, after we're taken to heaven, and after Israel is called back to the land. Israel is poured out on Israel a spirit of grace and of supplication, and they look on him whom they've pierced, and they mourn for him. They believe that he is the Messiah. Christ comes back in Acts 3:19. Their sins are blotted out when he returns. Same as in 1 Peter 1:5 and 1:13. Their sins are blotted out when Christ returns to earth.